Welcome to another Club Racing UK race night, which this week features a British motorsport icon, the Caterhams 7. Notoriously twitchy, how would our PC sim racers handle it? Snetterton, Silverstone and Donington play host to our 3 races this evening. At Snetterton, Alex Jamieson started from pole position with Toby Owen alongside him. At the start, Jamieson, Owen and third place Jason Powell all got away well. But it was Jamieson who held his nerve and the position through turn 1. With Owen going defensive into the Wilson hairpin, they all stacked up behind him, cars going 2 or even 3 wide through the opening corners. Owen held them all at bay, however, to hold on to second place from Jason Powell and Josh Morris as Jay Daniels took a trip over the gravel. So the order: Jamieson, Owen, Powell and Morris. This evening there was also a rookie class on show for drivers competing in their first race night event. Will Ashmore in yellow initially battled with Gary Cooper in the opening stages, before this moment for Cooper on the exit of Murray's dropped him to the back of the field. As lap 2 began, Jamieson already had a lead over the chasing pack. Jason Powell wasn't really close enough to attack Toby Owen for second, but that didn't stop him having a go at the hairpin, making contact with Owen and pushing him into a spin. Owen rejoined right in front of Will Ashmore and then compounded the incident by running wide at the following corner Palmer's, which dropped him to 6th. Ashmore found himself having to go defensive to stave off the interests of Jay Daniels and a recovering Toby Owen. But on the exit of Wilson hairpin, Daniels got on the power too early and took himself out of contention. He would, however, recover. Up front, Alex Jamieson had already built up a commanding lead ahead of Jason Powell and Josh Morris. Powell hustled Morris in the early stages, but dropped back as the race went on, Josh not making any mistakes in second place. Behind them, Ashmore, Owen and Daniels were next, and it was Jay Daniels on the move as he sought to recover ground. With everyone on best behaviour for this first of 3 races, Josh Morris was an untroubled second and held his position to the flag, ahead of Jason Powell, who had an equally uneventful race to 3rd. Behind them, Jay Daniels had worked his way up into 4th ahead of the impressive Ashmore, but there was one last bit of drama as Ashmore got wide heading through Brundle and Nelson and had a spin that allowed Toby Owen to sneak through into 5th place on the final lap. At the head of the field, Alex Jamieson romped to a dominant opening victory, some 15 seconds clear of Josh Morris in 2nd place. It was an ominous way to start the first race night in the Caterhams. Will Ashmore took the inaugural rookie class honours with 6th overall. At Silverstone we gained another 2 cars as Chris Slater and Will Bream joined the field. Josh Morris started from pole position, Alex Jamieson alongside him, and Morris held the lead through turn 1, but behind him it was Toby Owen who made a great start to come through into 2nd place as they headed down into Maggots for the first time. Jamieson was 3rd from Jay Daniels and Jason Powell. Through Brooklands on lap 1, Jamieson got a great run around the outside and tried to go up the inside of Toby Owen into Luffield. The two made contact, pushing Owen wide, and as Owen struggled for grip, cars went to the left and right of him. Jameson snuck through. Jason Powell took to the pit lane for a jump start, and through Woodcote for the first time, Owen and Daniels made contact, spearing Jay off and into the barrier. It wasn't long before Jameson had Josh Morris in his sights though, and took the lead down into Maggots. Josh Morris fought back however, and at the end of the lap pulled alongside as the pair headed into Copse Corner. Daniels went out wide and indeed off the track. When he rejoined, he was in the lead of the race. Behind them, the battle for 4th and 5th was just as close. Chris Slater held 4th from Will Ashmore, but coming out of Luffield, Ashmore got the run as they headed onto a new lap. He pulled to the outside, heading into turn 1. Slater was having none of it though, holding his ground and holding the inside line. On the exit, the two of them made contact at high speed and went into the wall with phenomenal force. Incredibly, both cars were able to return to the pits and continue. At the head of the race, the top three were setting frenetic pace, lapping almost a second quicker than the rest of the field. They were never more than a few feet apart, the top three of Jameson, Morris and Owen, all taking turns to have a go at the others. The lead and second place changed hands several times as the trio broke clear of the chasing pack. They kept this up for over half the race, but it all came to a head 4 laps from the end when Josh Morris got a run out of the final corner and took the lead from Alex Jameson. He didn't quite have the move done by Copse, so went defensive, and that slowed him through the corner. Jameson got a run on him on the exit, and Toby Owen got a run on both of them as they headed down to Maggots. All three went for the same piece of tarmac, and 3 into 1 was never going to go. Owen and Morris made contact, taking them both out in a rather clumsy looking spin. However, such was their advantage over the rest of the field that they were both able to rejoin the battle for second place, losing none of its intensity. But this left Alex Jameson on his own out front. It was another dominant win, but he'd had to work hard for this one. Josh Morris held on to second place, having made his way through the traffic better than Toby Owen, in the end taking a comfortable second place on the podium, whilst Owen completed the top 3. Behind them, Will Bream took a phenomenal 4th place and rookie honours in his first race of the evening. He was the only other driver to finish on the lead lap after a race of incident. Donington Park played host to the third and final race of the evening. It was Alex Jameson starting on pole from the impressive Will Ashmore. But it was Josh Morris who got the best start, from third on the grid, moving into second by the time the cars braked into Redgate for the first time. As the midfield duped for position, at the back it was carnage. Will Bream found himself sandwiched between Gary Cooper and the slow-starting Toby Owen, and as the 3 cars moved together through Hollywood, Owen and Bream were launched into the air with spectacular effect. Will Bream was unfortunately out on the spot whilst Owen rejoined. Onboard footage from Bream's car shows that Andy Jebson in the blue car on the left went off, and as Gary Cooper moved across the track in avoidance, he didn't realise just how close Will and Toby Owen were. The result was spectacular. This left Alex Jameson leading from Josh Morris, Jay Daniels and Will Ashmore. On lap 2, however, Morris went wide at Schwantz Curve and headed onto the grass. After a little bit of rallycross in his Caterham, he rejoined in 4th place, with Daniels and Ashmore moving ahead of him. It didn't take Ashmore long to scythe up the inside of Daniels into the Melbourne hairpin and reclaim 2nd place, getting back to where he started on the grid. This put Jay Daniels in the unenviable position of having to attack and defend at the same time from a charging Josh Morris. And Josh Morris was in no mood to wait around. As Daniels got a little bit sideways out of the final corner, Josh sized him up heading down the start-finish straight. Aided by a slight lock-up from Daniels, Josh Morris was through into 3rd. Behind them, the 2 blue and orange Caterhams of Andy Jebsen and Will Slater battled over 5th. Slater initially held the position, but this mistake at the top of the hill allowed Andy Jebsen through. Gary Cooper was bearing down on him and attempted a late lunge into Redgate. The 2 of them made contact, and that put Slater into the gravel and sadly out of the race. It wasn't the only late lunge on this lap though. Josh Morris attempting an opportunistic move up the inside of Will Ashmore, which spun the yellow car around and dropped him to 4th. Jay Daniels took advantage of the incident to sweep around the outside and back into 2nd place. The 2 of them were locked in combat for much of the race, Morris trying everything in his power to try and pass Daniels. Morris did manage to get past after another uncharacteristic error from Jay Daniels at turn 1. But at the top of the hill, like so many others in this race, he lost control of his Caterham. After a pirouette, or 2, or 3, Josh Morris found himself facing the wrong way and rejoined in 4th place, right on Will Ashmore's tail. Meanwhile, Gary Cooper was enjoying keeping Silverstone podium finisher Toby Owen behind him in their battle for 6th. The pair caught and passed Andy Jebsen for 5th at the top of the hill, their battle now becoming for 5th place overall. Try as he might, Owen could not find a way past the car of Gary Cooper, and as they tussled on the exit of the Melbourne hairpin, it allowed Andy Jebsen to get a run on them both heading into the final corner. Unfortunately, there was contact with Cooper, which launched both cars across the track and allowed Owen through into that 5th place he had been chasing. Jason Powell became the race's 3rd retirement with this spin at the top of the hill. In the closing stages, Ashmore was doing everything in his power to hold off a charging Josh Morris. Morris looked quicker, but he couldn't find a bit of track free of yellow and black car. He managed to get himself up the inside at Melbourne hairpin but snatched a break. Ashmore dived back up the inside to take the place. At the front though, a familiar story. Alex Jamieson coming through to take his 3rd victory of the evening and absolutely dominating the Caterhams. Jay Daniels drove arguably his best race of the evening to come through in a clear 2nd place, whilst behind him a resurgent Will Ashmore took a well-deserved 3rd place finish ahead of Josh Morris, taking an overall podium as well as his 2nd rookie class win of the evening. Morris was 4th from Owen and Cooper to round out the top 6.